Morning everybody, welcome on to another video on my channel. It's another Thursday, which can only mean one thing: Championship Matchday Weekend Predictions. So obviously we've got a big weekend coming up with the Championship. In the big run up to Christmas, Christmas is not far away now, it's only around the corner. So we've got plenty of action coming up over the next couple of weeks. Plenty of prediction videos, plenty of matchday vlogs hitting the channel. And we're going to get straight into this prediction video by starting for the Friday night fixture. Although it's not on TV, I don't think. It's between Norwich, they host Brentford. It's the quarter-to-eight kick-off on Friday night. And Norwich didn't play too great on Saturday. They're not the best bit of form at the moment. Struggling for form, lost 1-0 to Leeds obviously on Saturday, and they're struggling to get some momentum. Obviously prior to that they'd beaten Sheffield Wednesday at home at Carrow Road, so that was a good win for them. Their first home win since I think September time, I think it was, or a bit before that, because they haven't been playing too well at home recently. And so far this season, after that big derby win at Ipswich, they've really struggled in terms of trying to kick on from there, which you really thought in terms of most teams would be a big turning point when you beat your closest rivals quite comfortably as well, I felt, that game. But they haven't really kicked on from it, and they've really since then struggled, which has been quite ironic really, because after that I expected Norwich to kick on. They played some great football in that game, but prior to that they've not hit the high notes, and they come up against a Brentford side who have sort of done the same after beating Fulham, haven't really gone and kicked on, haven't kicked on either really. Obviously lost to Hull and then drew to Barnsley, so that's 1 point from a possible 6 there. Isn't great form really. And I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw in this game. Alright, both sides can prove they can score goals, but Norwich at home don't really create many chances. And Brentford are quite strong defensively and have a habit of drawing games, especially at home. So I'm going to go for a goalless draw in this one between two sides who are a little bit out of form at the moment. So rolling straight into the Saturday games, I've got a full rank of Saturday games. Starting for Bolton, they host Cardiff. So this will be a big test for Bolton to see how far they've progressed this season, since it's shown some good form in the middle of the season, in the later months of the year. And they're not doing too badly, right? The loss to Burton was probably a little bit of a blip, but prior to that, went up to Forest, to the City ground, and gave a good account of themselves, gave it a good go. Okay, they didn't come away with a win there, but they showed some positive improvement. It was more of 2 steps forward, 1 step back in terms of their performance against Burton Albion, when they let quite a sloppy goal in and failed to really create any clear-cut chances. Okay, they had one shot off the line, header off the line from Darren Pratley, but that was probably the only main one they created. And at home, they're kind of struggling this season. Don't get me wrong, they're struggling to get some solid form together at home. They're much better away from home this season, and it's been a big test against a good Cardiff side who are doing everything right so far. A good 1-0 win against Hull. A game that wasn't great. It was a scrappy type of game, but obviously the better sides know how to win in these type of games. So obviously Sol Bamba popped up with a header, and it gave Neil Warnock side all 3 points. Looking at the way this is going to go, I'm going to go with an away win. I'm going to go with a 3-0 away win, just for the fact Cardiff are playing such great football at the moment. They don't seem like they're going to slip up at any time soon, and I see them absolutely ripping Bolton to shreds and scoring 3 goals. So moving to the next game, Derby host Millwall. This will be a very good game, I feel. A revitalised Millwall are going to travel to Pride Park against a very good Derby side who are doing everything right so far as well. Sitting well into the playoff places now and getting some good form together. A couple of wins so far. They're doing well at home as well recently with their win at home over the weekend. So it was good for them to get 3 points, and they're doing everything right so far. Obviously, Gary Rowett's gone in there. He's got players. They're playing some really good football. Again, for a club that's expected to be in around the top 6, there's always that added pressure. And obviously the chairman, obviously with his reputation, Mel Morris, of sacking managers, and really him trying to play the Derby way, really, in terms of trying to show that identity of football, which I don't understand quite really how they showed the Derby way, really, in terms of how football should be played at Derby. But obviously Gary Rowett's gone in there, in my opinion, and he's really nailed it down. He's got a good system, a consistent team selection as well, which is what you need in this league going forward. You need to be consistent with your team selections, and he's done them very well. And they come up against the revitalised Millwall side. They've picked up some very good results, really. Point at Aston Villa prior to a very good home win against Middlesbrough. So it's 4 points against two teams who are expected to do well this year and expected to achieve in this division. So they're moving in the right direction. And I can see them getting a point in this game. I think they're in some really good form at the moment and playing some of the best football that they've played all season, really. And I do fancy them to get a draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Both sides will score in this game, but I do fancy Millwall to come away with a point again against another big team. So moving to the next game, my team's Fulham. We host Barnsley on Saturday. And we didn't really play too well in the last game. Obviously, we got beat by Sunderland. No need to really explain much about that. But obviously, failure to create chances in front of goal this season has been a major Achilles heel to our progress this season. We're just not putting teams away, especially at home against Millwall and Birmingham. We're just really hanging on towards the end. 2-1-0 wins there. A positive could be 2 clean sheets at home. That's always a positive when you're not conceding goals at home. That's always a good thing. But we're coming against the Barnsley side who've recently been taken over by a Chinese consortium led by Chien Li, I think his name is. So they've got big plans going forward. They can be spending well in January as well. So results on the board could be crucial before that window opens up to give them a bit of a gap on the teams below them, which might make spending a bit more easier in terms of them trying to buy some better players. Obviously, they've been renowned for being a selling club, selling some of their better players like Conor Hourihane, Sam Winnall, Mark Roberts. Players like that have all left Oakwell over the past past year and that, so in terms of them trying to replace them. But looking at the way this is going to go, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Fulham win. Okay, we don't score many goals at home, but Barnsley do concede a lot of goals. Only one clean sheet away from home this season. That was last week against Brentford. So I do fancy us to take all 3 points and score a couple of goals, hopefully. So moving to the next game, Leeds host Hull. It's been a very good game again. Hull haven't been playing too bad recently in that. This is obviously at Ellen Road, but we can start off talking about Hull. They were a revitalised Hull. Didn't look too bad against Cardiff. They did everything right, but obviously let that late goal in, which was probably a bit of a shame for Nigel Atkins. Taking the point from Cardiff would have been a good thing, but obviously they came away with nothing when they got beat 1-0. But the results prior to that, obviously a big win against Brentford in Nigel's first game. So he's slowly turning the club around. He's a very positive man, is Nigel Atkins, so he'll try and restore that and give that team a bit of confidence, give them a bit of freedom and allow them to express themselves. Probably something they probably didn't really do under Leonard Sutskill, though they did create a lot of chances, and the away form's got to improve a bit. Only one win in the past, one win since last August against Swansea, was obviously coming against Barnsley. So they've only won one away game since last August, which isn't great, and that's got to be a record that's got to be rectified if they want to try and finish mid-table this season. But Leeds will be a tough challenge, I think. It'll be a very good game as well. Leeds are playing some really good stuff at the moment, and I do fancy Leeds to win this game 2-1. Just for the fact Leeds are in good form at the moment, sitting just behind Sheffield United, waiting for them to slip up again possibly before they could come in and take a playoff place. But I do definitely fancy Leeds to win this game and try and kick into the playoffs. So moving to the next one, Preston host Nottingham Forest. This is probably on paper for me. I'm going to go for home win. Just for the fact Preston are playing some really good football at the moment, and they're getting some good results against a tougher type of teams, really. Obviously, that was proven against a 10-man resilient QPR the other week, where they ground out a good win, managed to find that goal. It was a 1-0 win thanks to Jordan Hugill. And results like that are going to stand them in good stead. They're obviously finding ways to win. Playing some expansive counter-attacking football as well. Another good thing that is very easy in the eye. Obviously coming against Nottingham Forest, who do score a lot of goals, but do leak a lot of goals as well. And that's probably been their Achilles heel as well. Obviously, they lost 2-1 to Bristol City on Saturday. And really, again, they need to tighten up defensively because they've got some fantastic offensive players. So I've said time and time again. But if they want to try and get anywhere this season and anywhere near the playoffs, they've got to tighten up defensively. But I'm going to go for a home win in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. Just the fact that Nottingham Forest do let a lot of goals in. And Preston are playing some really good football at the moment. And I see that carrying on. So into the next game, QPR hosts Bristol City. QPR got a fantastic result against Birmingham, and there was a lot of pressure on that game for two sides who desperately needed the 3 points in their respective relegation escape this season, really. Obviously, QPR come away with that thanks to a 2-1 win. 2 goals from Jack Robinson, that doesn't happen a lot, so that's always positive to see the goals being shared around the team. And obviously, Jack Robinson took both his goals quite well, good header, and then well-timed finish right at the end to draw it into the bottom corner. So that's always positive for them. And Bristol City as well, they're playing fantastically well. Obviously, last night beat Manchester United in the Carabao Cup 2-1 to get them through to the semi-final, and await a draw against Manchester City. So the chance to do the Manchester doubled in the Carabao Cup would be fantastic for them. Doing very well in the league this season as well, picking up good results against Forest on Saturday. I do fancy him to go away from home and win this game. It'll be a tight one. I'm going for another 2-1 win to Bristol City, just for the fact they're playing with great confidence again. And when you've got that type of confidence in your side, it's very hard for teams to come over and beat you. And the away form's not been too bad, especially this season for Bristol City. And I do fancy them to kick on now and win 2-1. So moving to the next game, Reading host Burton Albion. I'm going to go for home win this one. I think Reading, they're starting to pick up a bit of form. Okay, they lost to Ipswich over the weekend, but that was the first time they lost a game in a while. They picked up some consistent results over the last couple of weeks, stringing together a 5 or 6 match unbeaten run, which is good. A couple of wins and a couple of draws in there stood them in good stead. That was probably one of the reasons why they kicked on towards the higher echelons of the bottom half. Coming against the Burton Albion side, fantastic win against Barton Wanderers, but I do fancy them to come unstuck against a team with a bit better attacking quality, such as Reading, who do play some good possession football as well, and I expect them to starve Burton Albion in the ball and slowly break them down. And if they get that first goal, then I think it'll be curtains. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win to Reading. So into the next one for me, Sheffield Wednesday host Middlesbrough. Two sides who have probably tipped to do well, who are a bit out of form at the moment and probably ain't playing the best football that they probably should be expected to play, really. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday haven't been playing too great recently. Lost to Wolves last Friday night, 1-0 thanks to Ruben Neves' strike. Obviously, Middlesbrough went down 2-1 at the Den on Saturday against Millwall as well. And I'm going to go for 1-1 draw in this one. It'll be a cagey affair, I think. Both teams cannot afford to lose this one in terms of them trying to get anywhere near the top 6. I think if Sheffield Wednesday lose this, I think they're finally out of the top 6, and a top 6 race, in fact. And I do think Carlos Carvalhal probably will lose his job. I've been saying it at his job. He's got to be a dead man walking in terms of managerial departures in this league. And I think if they don't get a result here, then he'll be on his way out. And I'm going to go for a 1-1. Going to the next game, Sunderland host Birmingham. What a huge game this is. Birmingham need to win this if they want to try and stand any chance of staying up. And again, this could be Steve Cottrell. If he gets beat here, this could be his last match. He could walk away. Although I feel like he needs a January transfer window to try and buy some players who he thinks will suit the type type of play he wants to play. He likes to get his teams fit, well organised, well drilled, as he's tried to get across since coming in a couple of months ago. Hasn't been the case. I do think they need to get rid of some players. They've got some players on big money, some half-assed attitude players who need to probably kick off and leave the club. Need to get players who want to play for the badge and try and just help help the cause really, and try and help this big club stay in this division, which is something they've got to try and do again. And coming up against Sunderland side, they got their first home win against Fulham, obviously 1-0 there. That's standing in good confidence. I do fancy him to win this game. I think that first home win in the year is going to be a massive confidence booster for Sunderland. And I do think they'll make it 2 home wins from 2 home matches. And yeah, it won't be another year wait, I don't think, for Sunderland fans this week. And I do think they'll win this one. It'll be a tight game again. And I'm going to go for another 1-0 home win. It'll be a very, very cagey affair. And I just think 1 goal for Sunderland will be enough to do it. So going into the penultimate game list review, Wolves host Ipswich. I'm going to go for draw in this game just for the fact I think Ipswich are well drilled on the road. And I think they're going to come and and they're definitely going to rattle Wolves in my opinion. Just for the fact that they're going to come there, typical Mick McCarthy side, well organised, look to try and play on the break and just really do the basics well and try and come away with a point, which is something that would be a very good result if they did do that. But obviously Wolves have played really well against Sheffield Wednesday. A very professional performance in my opinion, something they needed to do. Kind of one ugly as well, but they'd play some good stuff in between. But they come away with a win without nonetheless. But I do think it'll be a 1-1 draw in this game. I think Ipswich will score a goal, but I think they're going to come, as I said, well drilled, well organised, try and play on the break as well. And there's for that reason I think it'll be very tough to see Wolves break them down. And obviously look at the way Sunderland played when they got a point at Wolves. Most teams will be now trying to follow that route, trying to play behind the ball and trying to just wind up Wolves and aggravate them and basically allow them to try and break us down basically. So it'll be interesting to see how Ipswich do, but as I said, it'll be a 1-1 draw for me. And going into the final game, the 5:15 kick-off, Aston Villa vs Sheffield United. Sheffield United in a bit of a rut at the moment. Ain't been playing too great recently. I do fancy him to come unstuck in this game. I do fancy Aston Villa to win this game 2-1. Just for the fact they're playing. They lost to Derby on Saturday, but I do fancy him to bounce back here against Sheffield United side, who are not too bad away from home. But I just think they're coming up against a side with plenty of quality in and around the pitch, and they do play some good stuff. Aston Villa when on song, and for that reason I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win. So yeah, guys, there's my Championship Match Day 22, I think, predictions. So if you do like it, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Doing really well at the moment, 355 subscribers. I'm fantastically pleased with that. But yeah, as I said, like, subscribe, and we'll see you all on the next video. Bye bye.